Good evening everyone and welcome to Fight Club Pro, Friday the 13th! Tonight we begin our tournament to crown the first ever Fight Club Pro Openweight Fighting Champion! The following contest is your first round one match. Introducing first. And introducing his opponent. All the matches in the first round of the Openweight Fighting Championship tournament have a 20-minute time limit, and if the action spills to the outside, the wrestlers have a count of 20 to make it back in. Introducing first, in the corner to my left, from Auckland, New Zealand, the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks! And introducing his opponent in the corner to my right, from Osaka, Japan, Shigehiro Irie!
Well, we are here at Fight Club Pro presents Friday the 13th, and what an opening contest we have. We have Shigehiro Irie going up against a former Fight Club Pro world champion in Travis Banks, and I'm joined here today by Shay Purser. Shay, welcome to the booth.
Hello, Fraser Thomas. How's it going? I'm looking forward to Friday the 13th tonight.
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. And what an opening contest we have. Like I said, Travis Banks, a former Fight Club Pro world champion, and it's definitely a sort of clash of styles we have here.
Definitely. Shigehiro Irie not giving up much in a height advantage, but massively outweighing Travis Banks. He's going to look to use some of that explosive power tonight to get the upper hand.
Yeah, one thing Travis Banks certainly is very good at is hitting that slice of heaven out of nowhere, and if he catches Shigehiro Irie, that could be the end for him, and he proceeds through to this tournament to become the very first Fight Club Pro Openweight Fighting Champion, and what an honor it would be to be the inaugural champion.
Absolutely. That belt means a lot to all 8 competitors, and as you can see here, Irie and Banks just trading chops back and forth. Usually you don't want to get into a striking war with Travis Banks, and Irie clearly doesn't. Slapping on a side headlock, put some weight on him there.
And there's a good way to wear down your opponent, that side headlock.
Especially when you have such a weight advantage like Shiggy does. It's going to take a lot to move him into the ropes, but he does. Send off. Large tackle from a large man.
And that's that weight advantage coming into play.
Straight off, avoids the senton, one of Shigehiro Irie's patented moves. Slam, down, Banks looks for it, catches the kick, throws him face first into the mat, stalking Irie here.
Did a good job at using his weight against him, and that's what the Kiwi Buzzsaw needs to do, and he lights up those strikes across the back of Shigehiro Irie.
This is exactly where Travis Banks wants Shiggy, on the mat, able to kick him. Huge pounce from Shiggy right there.
And we don't know if the sheer velocity has sent Travis Banks to the floor, for he needs that respite to catch his breath. What a beautiful pounce applied there by Shigehiro Irie.
Of course, Fight Club Pro abides by an extended 20 count. Either competitor can be eliminated by that. Shigehiro going to follow Travis to the outside. Maybe wise, maybe not. If he has a game plan, it could be. Travis fighting back here. Big chops. Shiggy answering right back with a forearm and a half.
Straight up onto that jaw of the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
Do you think fighting on the outside benefits either of these fighters, Fraser Thomas?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I mean, you run the risk of getting counted out. I mean, I myself personally don't like taking stuff to the outside of the floor. I like to keep it in the ring. That is where I can win the match. I mean, you yourself, you're a wrestler as well, Shay. I mean, what about yourself? What would be your game plan going into this, into a tournament situation, knowing that you have to go up against either Travis Banks or Shigehiro Irie?
I mean, it's different positions for both. I really think that if I'm Travis Banks, I want to neutralize Shigehiro Irie and keep on the mat as much as I can. If I'm Shigehiro Irie, I'm doing what he is doing right now, applying pressure and weight onto Travis whenever I can. Utilizing the chin lock here. Not a chokehold. Many people confuse it with that. It's just pressure on the chin, and Travis Banks slips out with some fire chops. Irie cuts him back down. Side body slam. Steps off. Here it comes. Honey pot drop. That can take the wind out of any man.
I've got experience. That used to be my finisher back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Irie feeding Banks up off the mat. Oh, Banks, I don't think he can get up off the mat.
This thing is just another example of that driving that wind out of the body itself. If you can't operate your diaphragm, you can't breathe properly, and we've seen it here. Travis Banks trying to take the knee.
It's hard to take a knee against a man with the power of Shigehiro Irie. That's the thing, wrestling Shiggy, he doesn't have to hit many moves because they're all impactful. I think anything he gets on him is about twice the effect of a normal wrestler.
Shay, look what we're seeing here. We're seeing...
Oh! Big back body drop from Travis Banks, reversing that powerbomb. But that's got to have taken a lot of energy out of Travis.
Well, he's just got that seated sense on the honeypot driver there from Shigehiro Irie. The amount of strength. Where do you find that from to lift a man of Shigehiro Irie's size?
That's the fire and intensity of Travis Banks, stopped by a back elbow from Irie, sets him in the corner. Cross the ring switch. Big European uppercut.
And this is what Travis Banks needs to do. He needs to get momentum on this.
Trips him. He's in the corner. Travis Banks is setting up.
We know what's going to come here.
Rolling cannonball senton from Travis Banks. He's taking a little bit out of him, though. He's not on his feet. He's had to take a rest.
You see Travis Banks there leaping into the cannonball, not the way that we've seen him done that before, looking to get extra height, extra weight, extra elevation to drive his body into Shigehiro Irie.
Perhaps not wise trying to lift the big man here. And Shigehiro Irie says absolutely not into a fireman's carry. Banks managing to slip the apron here, very wise, get some distance. Blocks the strike, answers with his own. Springs in. Oh, straight punch from Irie. Oh my God! Crossbody Travis Banks in the head on the outside. There may be padded mats on the outside, but trust me when I say it hurts to fall to the floor.
And that whiplash effect playing a factor on the neck of Travis Banks.
But that's the fire of Travis Banks, straight out with a low pay.
And Travis Banks saying, anything you can do, I can do better. Travis Banks, very well versed in Japanese wrestling. He himself trained over at 01.
Correct, Fraser Thomas. Banks to his feet. It takes a lot to lift a man like that into the ring, but he's got him.
And that's that game plan coming into factor. Do you leave your opponent in the ring and try and get that 20 count, or risk it all and throw them in trying to get the pin?
Oh! Huge double stomp, lands his weight on him as well. Very smart, that could be it. Irie belly kicks out.
And we're not too sure if Travis Banks meant that, but he just had that double whammy, double effect. But Shigehiro Irie finding it within him to kick out of that combination.
Banks has got to think, what can I do next? What can I set Irie up for next? He pulls him to his feet, starts laying in those chops. Irie answers back.
See the sweat flying off the chest of Irie.
Absolutely, both men just trading here. Usually you wouldn't want to get into a striking affair with Travis Banks, but Irie is no coward. Oh my God, Kawada-esque with those trading forearms.
Drops the big man to the one knee.
Oh, straight headbutt. Banks answers with the jumping lariat, signature Travis Banks.
Is he going for the Kiwi Crusher?
Doesn't get a chance, straight brainbuster. Irie looks for the cover. A lackadaisical cover there from Shigehiro Irie. Those strikes clearly taking something out of him.
And this is the part of the match where fatigue starts to set in. You mentioned it there, that lackadaisical cover there.
Irie looking to the top rope.
And this is going to be dangerous.
For one man or another. Looks for that. And that could be it. Resiliency shown by Travis Banks with that kick out. That's a lot of man to land on top of you.
It certainly took a lot out of Travis Banks. You can see the damage that does on Irie himself also.
Irie here setting up for the running bomber lariat. Something we've seen him put other fighters at Fight Club Pro away with. Travis around the back, German suplex.
Oh, and this man stands right to his feet.
Travis Banks straight back up this time. Oh, running bomb and lariat. But Travis manages to get to his knees. You can't pin a man on his knees. Slice of heaven.
And that's that speed coming into play from Travis Banks. Both man down.
Slice of heaven, but he can't capitalize with a pin. A running bomb and lariat will certainly take a lot out of you. You could have think he might have won it there, but Shigehiro Irie managed to take enough out of the former Fight Club Pro champion for the time being.
And that's where wearing down your opponent comes into play. We saw Shigehiro Irie trying to drive all the wind out of Travis Banks, and when he finally managed to catch that slice of heaven, he didn't have enough in the tank to try and reach across to get that pin. And what can Travis Banks do? What can the Kiwi Buzzsaw do to advance into the semi-finals?
Banks climbing to the top rope here. Shigehiro Irie meets him with a big clubbing strike. Setting Banks up with his back to him. Potentially, definitely a high-risk maneuver.
It's a precarious situation for the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
Twists. Oh my word. Samoan drop off of the second rope with a twist. A 10-minute call there. We are at the halfway point in this match. Both men have to look to speed up a little bit and try and get the win. Banks set up over that middle rope. Oh! Rolling senton.
He goes straight to the back of his head. Cover attempt.
Cover, but I think Irie took a little bit of impact on his head there. Slowed him down before he could get the cover. Gave Travis Banks those extra seconds to gather his bearings.
And we're seeing it here. It was quite a partisan opening there with the Kiwi Buzzsaw initially, and it called out. There's some boos in the crowd, but you see the crowd now firmly behind the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
Double pump of the chest. Ducks behind. Gut kick.
He's not going to go for it again, is he?
Breaks out. Shooter headbutt again. Banks answers with a bicycle to the arm. Lariat back. Super kick. Super kick. Ducks. Second slice of heaven of the night.
He's going for it again. Kiwi crusher attempt.
Finally hits it.
He's got the leg hooked.
That's it.
The winner of this match and advancing in the Openweight Fighting Championship Tournament, Travis Banks!
And what a match we just witnessed here at Fight Club Pro, Friday the 13th. The Kiwi buzzsaw Travis Banks advances to the semi-finals for a chance to become the very first Fight Club Pro Openweight Fighting Champion.
Really utilising that Kiwi crusher. He searched for it all match, and when he got it, it won him the match. Clearly a well-scouted offense there by Travis Banks. And he is your winner.